Ziha, Black Hitler, the FUHRER, Black Hitler TV Reloaded. Yo, I'm using all types of made up shit, alright? Most black feminists grew up around whites. Most black feminists grew up around whites. By String Bell, the All-Star. And just like white people, their only connection with black people is hip-hop and the media. And they have soaked up all those negative images and connotations about black men and created this goofy ad ideology with no basis in reality. I have never met a self-described black feminist who really grew up around black people and got to experience a wild variety of black men. They are so overrepresented on the internet because this is where they grew up, and black Twitter, and their only connection to other black people. They have low self-esteem because they have never been accepted by whites, and black people think they're corny. Let's get into a couple of comments. Okay. Majestic says, agreed. Corporate Trapper, Get Paid says, 1,000,000% truth. Same thing with male coons. Let a black child grow up around whites and they always come out as some lame-ass motherfucker. You could tell when someone grew up around whites as soon as they start talking. It's funny because you'd expect them to be extra militant and extra on code, considering they've been surrounded by the enemy 24/7 since they were children. But instead, they become whitewashed and full-blown coons. String Bell responds, if black kids grow up around whites, they will be extra on code and pro-black or super coon bedwench. LeBron's hairline says, I don't know if I completely agree, but I do notice that black feminist personality seems far more white girlish than typical black women's. Zero says, I can believe this. Corporate Trapper says again, the coon struggle. Brolic Scholar says, from my experience, this is true. I personally know 2 women that fit that description. Baby here says, yeah, I grew up in the hood, and none of the tricks I grew up with are black feminists. I didn't meet a black feminist until I went to college, and it wasn't surprising where these feminists came from. The middle class, white side of town, Rhode Island, California, Indiana, Connecticut. African Peasant says, yep, or they got brainwashed early in college. Grizzly, the home run hitter, says, agreed wholeheartedly. 816 says, yep, they grow up in white neighborhoods, then join some black group in college, and they never have any experience growing up with lots of black people. Their views are through the white media's lens. 100% correct. Ralston, the fatherless poster, says, yeah, I agree. I feel like that's why you see them trying so damn hard and fighting any and every battle, no matter how pointless it is. They're new to this shit. They had other problems in their earlier days and never fit into the black community. Probably heard things like they talk white. Then they got around some black people in college or something and adopted from a token Cosby or post-racial whatever brand of superior Negro they thought they were. The funny thing is, Dear White People, the Netflix show's protagonist, was a good example of this. She was a damn Valley girl, but got to college, read The Room, and easily adapted to the black activist. And when called out on the show for dating a white man, she was biracial. That was probably the most unintentional truth I saw on TV. There is divide and conquer tactics. You can say white supremacy utilizes But these new blacks will divide to survive, scurrying away like rats from a sinking ship when the jig is up rather than going down with their team. The bad guy says, I've been said that. No one I know cares about Issa Rae. If they do, it's because it's on the internet shared room shit. But even then, she's a lame. I don't know any black women that care about Meghan Markle or Prince Harry. The only women I know, black women that talk about it, is Toya, Tiny, Keisha, Kior, Trina, Rashida, and Tamar. All the reality show celebs from Bravo and VH1. That's about it. But the same could be said online. Black men like that on the Cali. Half the niggas on here talk about some shit they don't even know. When these cornballs became the voice of black people, these so-called feminists, these black feminists, well, it's beyond me. And premeditated, waiting in the bushes said, thought this was already established a long time ago. So let me ask it this way. Are there black feminists in the hood? Do you have any black feminists in your family? And is it because they grew up in white neighborhoods? Or was it because they went to college? Did you see cousins or sisters, girlfriends or wives change after attending or being indoctrinated into college, especially the sororities? You know, I think there's a plethora of failed black feminists in the hood. You know, see, feminism, it had the positive effects individually and on a whole for white women, not black women. You know, with black women, it was a trade-off. You know, to get this little bit of housing, poor quality, and to get this little education, poor quality, you know, she had to trade out her family. You know, so feminism fell short of its promises to black women. Black women thought they were getting, you know, the gold package, and they got the cardboard package. You know, I think that, see, if Mandy wasn't scared of Shaniqua, I think she would recruit her more liberally. But Shaniqua scares the shit out of Mandy. You know, I think feminism and college and higher education are synonymous with each other. Just like atheism is, you know. Like studies show that the higher a population's education, the less of a need for religious beliefs. And that's across the board, except for Negroes. Negroes tend to want to believe in some mystery God, no matter how much money they have, which is why we are at the bottom of all statistics, all value of life statistics. So I agree. Most feminists, black feminists, grew up around white women. And I think white women can also be traded out for winter college, especially D1 universities and sorority pledges. And I ask you once again, black women, was it all worth it? Like, share, subscribe. Black Hitler the Führer. Z How. Leave your comments.